I'm sorry, freaking video cut off. Jesus told his tax collector to follow him. Follow me and be my disciple, Jesus said to him. So Matthew got up and followed him. Later, Matthew invited Jesus and his disciples to his home at dinner guests, along with many tax collectors and other disreputable sinners. But when the Pharisees saw this, they asked his disciples, "Why does your teacher eat with such scum?" When Jesus heard this, he said, "Healthy people don't need a doctor. Sick people do." Then he added, "Now go and learn the meaning of the scripture. I want you to show mercy, not offer sacrifices. For I come not to call not those who think they are righteous, but those who know they are sinners." And then one day the disciples of John the Baptist came to Jesus and asked him, "Why don't your disciples fast like we do, and the Pharisees do?" And Jesus replied, "Do wedding guests mourn while celebrating with the groom? Of course not. But someday the groom will be taken away from them, and then they will fast. Besides, who wouldn't patch old clothing with new cloth? For the new patch would shrink and rip away from the old cloth, leaving an even bigger tear than before. And no one puts new wine into old wineskins, for the old skins will burst from the pressure, spilling the wine and ruining the skins. The new wine is stored in the new wineskins, so that both are preserved." Jesus heals in response to faith. As Jesus was saying this, the leader of the synagogue came and knelt before him. "My daughter has just died," he said, "but you can bring her back to life again if you just come and lay your hand on her." So Jesus and his disciples got up and went with him. Just then a woman who had suffered for 12 years with constant bleeding came up behind him. She touched the fringe of his robe, for she thought, "If I can just touch his robe, I will be healed." And Jesus turned around, and when he saw her, he said, "Daughter, be encouraged. Your faith has made you well." And the woman was healed at the moment. When Jesus arrived at the official home, he saw the noisy crowd and heard the funeral music. "Get out," he told them. "The girl isn't dead, she is only sleeping." But the crowd laughed at him. After the crowd was put outside, however, Jesus went in and took the girl by the hand, and she stood up. The report of this miracle swept through the entire countryside. After Jesus left the girl's home, 2 blind men followed him behind him, shouting, "Son of Man, Son of David, have mercy on us." They went right into the house where he was staying, and Jesus asked them, "Do you believe I can make you see?" "Yes, Lord," they told him, "we do." Then he touched their eyes and said, "Because of your faith, it will happen." Then their eyes were opened and they could see. Jesus sternly warned them, "Don't tell anyone about this." But instead they went out and spread his fame all over the region. When they left, a demon-possessed man who couldn't speak was brought to Jesus Christ. So Jesus cast out the demon, and then the man began to speak, and the crowds were amazed. "Nothing like this has ever happened in Israel," they exclaimed. But the Pharisees said, "He can cast out demons because he is empowered by the prince of demons," which is blasphemy. They're blaspheming him. And Jesus traveled through all the towns and villages of that area, teaching in the synagogues and announcing the good news about the kingdom, and he healed every kind of disease and illnesses. When he saw the crowds, he had compassion on them because they were confused and helpless like sheep without a shepherd. He said to his disciples, "The harvest is great, but the workers are few. So pray to the Lord who is in the charge of the harvest. Ask him to send more workers into his fields." So he ate with people that people were claiming that they hated: tax collectors and prostitutes, the people that they called garbage, trash. He ate with, because the people that are claiming and calling them out of their name are not so righteous. They think they're righteous, but they're not. But the truly ones are probably most truly saved is the ones that they are calling trash, saying that that's a piece of garbage, that girl. She ain't nothing but trash. But how do they know deep down that the person who's saved, um, you're calling a person trash and they're the ones saved? And you're probably the ones that's going to go to hell at the end of the day because they think they're some type of perfect. You're no better than nobody else. Nobody is made of garbage that God made in his image. If you read biblically, he didn't make garbage. He made human beings. But this world is so freaking corrupt.